Hey guys, Metal Jesus here, and today I'm back with a review of a pretty unusual Game Boy Advance game called Drome Racers. Not drone. If you try to type that into Google or your computer, it'll probably try to autocorrect itself to drone, but it is actually Drome Racers. So like I said, this is a Game Boy Advance game, and as you can see, it is very unusual in that it is entirely in 3D. Which is something that you just don't typically see on the Game Boy Advance. You know, that system was primarily a 2D, handheld. It did that very well, and so there are not a lot of 3D games on it. And to be quite honest, I think this is actually one of the better ones. It's one of them that looks actual 3D, right? It doesn't look like it's some weird hybrid. I mean, obviously it's low res and it's not like a great quality, but it's truly 3D, which I think kind of makes it sort of special. The other thing to note about this is that I am capturing this running on the Analogue Pocket. So that's the brand new FPGA based Game Boy clone system, and I am capturing this through the dock to the Elgato. And it is it's running it really well, and this is a game I thought that would probably trip it up a little bit. You know, this is one of those games where I'm like, is it gonna run Drome Racers? But as you can see, yeah, it ran it just fine. Now, there's a couple of really interesting things about this game. The first one being is that it's technically a Lego game, or at least it's a Lego spin-off. And I did not know that. I've always just owned the GBA version, which I don't think has Lego anywhere on the branding of it, but I guess that's where it spins off of. I guess that's where it started life. It's important to know this also came out on the PlayStation 2 and I believe the GameCube. Again, I haven't played those games. I don't think they reviewed very well, and I can kind of see why. I mean, this is, especially if it's this type of game on those systems had a lot of racing games, a lot of 3D racing games. That would not be anything particularly special, but on the Game Boy Advance, it's incredibly special. It's very unusual. The other thing that's kind of interesting about this game is that it was developed by a company called Attention to Detail. Now, that's not a very common, well-known game developer because sadly they went out of business after this game was published. However, I am familiar with them because they made two awesome games back on the PlayStation 1. They created the Roll Cage series. So they developed Roll Cage 1 and 2. And knowing that, and then looking at this game, you can definitely see the lineage there. They just look and feel very similar. And so overall, how do I feel about this game? Well, I do like it. It's a very well-made 3D racing game on the Game Boy Advance. And, you know, a lot of, I think, the novelty and joy of this game just comes from the fact that it is a full 3D game running on that handheld. And, you know, it's not supposed to be able to do that, right? And here you've seen it doing it fairly well. You know, the frame rate's not great. We're not getting anywhere near 60 frames per second. I would guess this is probably closer to maybe 15 frames a second is what it kind of feels like, although don't quote me on that. But again, you know, from a technical aspect of it, I do think it's really impressive, especially coming from, you know, like say a third party like this. I mean, you would think that it would be Nintendo or somebody like that that would have pushed it, but you know, it was this Attention to Detail company. And, you know, again, sadly, after this game, they closed shop. So that's a real bummer because they did make some really cool racing games, including, several Lego games. Now, as far as getting a physical copy of this game, it's good news, bad news with this one. So the good news is if you get a loose copy like I have, I picked this game up years ago. I think I paid $5 for it. Today, it seems to be going anywhere from $15 to $20 if you just want the cartridge. The bummer is that if you want a complete copy, well, you're going to pay significantly more. It looks like the prices are around $120 for a complete in-box copy. And I suspect that's because simply it just didn't sell very well, and there probably aren't a lot of them out there. It would be one of those games that would be a little bit hard to find. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I've never certainly seen a complete and copy box, so just be aware. But anyways, guys, I just want to share this quick little gameplay and review with you. This game that often comes up in my videos. People wonder what it is. All right, thanks for watching.